experience, gold medalist in MBA in 1996 and doctorate in management. Graduated in commerce from KMV, Jalandhar and has been conferred as accredited management teacher by All India Management Association in 2008. Has served as faculty and in academic administrative positions in various management schools in Hyderabad and Kolkata, School of Retail Management, Symbiosis University, Indian Institute of Health Management Research University, Jifar, and ITM Vocational University, Baroda. Has been a member and chairperson of various committees. Presently working as professor with Tishk International University, Kurdistan region of Iraq in Faculty of Administrative Sciences and Economics. Her work experience has affirmed interest in training, research and consulting in accreditation, DPR, entrepreneurship, general management, sales and marketing and online training in PSUs, pharmaceutical and healthcare sectors. Imparted training since her professional engagement with ESCI, Hyderabad to various organizations.
Thank you, Arpita ma'am. I'll unshare my PPT and welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nikat. Thank you so much. A warm good morning to all of you. And first of all, my heartfelt thanks to the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Pir Mohammed, Registrar Sir, respected Registrar Sir, Dr. Razad, and of course, my friend, my professional, very good friend, Dr. Nikat Hamza. She just can't avoid me. She just can't, and she has to let me in any of the slots. And I keep troubling, okay, bearing with me. With the permission of the participants, because there is a little bit of network problem at my end also. So if I put off my photo, my video, I think it will be good because neither Aishwarya Rai nor Shasmita Sen to be looked upon every time. So let me have this one my PPT. Where is it? I am not able. Why is it not going? Share PPT. Yeah, there it is. Is it visible now? Just a yes or no, quick. Ma'am, is it visible?
No, ma'am, we are able to see, ma'am. We are not able to see your PPT, ma'am.
Not able to see my PPT. 1 second. Why is that happening? PPT feature. No. Okay. It is very much. Say just browse. 1 second. Why is it not showing me on
Ma'am, you just unshare it and again share it.
Yeah, that is what again I'm trying to do it.
Maybe because
yeah, let me browse it. 1 second. Yeah, browse, and then browse upload from my computer.
Yeah, you just have to open it and then share it.
Yeah, I was trying to open it and share it, but it was not happening. So again, I had to go back. It was opened only. Okay. I hope it is visible now. Let me share it once again. Are you able to see?
Just wait for 2 minutes, ma'am, because we are not able to share. Maybe because of network issue, it is taking time.
It is now loading.
Yeah.
It is loading.
You can try switching off your camera, ma'am. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little fast. Yeah, I think it is.
We are still not able to see the PPT.
It is browsing actually, no?
Yeah. Now it is clear, ma'am.
No, but as of now, I am not able to see it because then I think it is visible now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you so much. So I'll keep Now, how do I change it? Why is it not able to? Is it changing?
Yeah, ma'am, your PPT is very clear.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Okay. That was okay. Thank you once again, and for including me in the second slot of Be the Change teaching learning process. That is the short-term training process program which is being conducted by BS Abdul Rahman University. Thank you once again, Dr. Nikat, and all the participants for lending your ear to me. I'll briefly, but in depth, I'll try to take on through this presentation on personalized learning. Now, I'll slowly go. Now, what we are as educators, we all are educators, and we do believe that we are not anymore, you can consider, the only source of information for our students. We are actually, you can consider that in the jungle of information that students are exposed. Our students are basically having much more higher degree of information than we facilitators are. So, and we live in the era of knowledge. We'll definitely agree upon that. And but it is the knowledge which we are in which era we live will determine us how to get information from about it, how to use it, and apply the same information for us for the betterment or for giving a better career, better understanding to our learning consumers, that is our students. Until the education system, you all will agree definitely, will be willing to change. Until the education system across the globe are willing to change, we need to make sure that we teach our students the way they want to learn, not the way we want to teach them, the way they would like to learn, and make sure also that they understand what they are learning, because there's a huge gap in that. It appears to be very simple actually that we engage them in the learning, as Dr. Seelam was also referring, that through games and interaction. And suddenly we ask them to learn from us only by listening to what we say. Then for them, it comes as a shock to most of our students. If we are not involving them, if we are not interacting with them, if we are not making the session very interactive, and if we are not including games into it. So let us all take a pause for a moment. All of us do it. We all are excellent teachers. It is that we need to constantly update and upskill, as it was very clearly mentioned by Dr. Peer Muhammad also. And as Dr. Azad was also referring, let us learn for tomorrow. Let us be agile. So it only takes how we would like our students would like to learn from us. So what they want is the most important word that is prevailing in the dictionary of students. Because if you slowly and but you can say surely kill the willingness to learn, we completely destroy their willingness to learn in our students, then there will be no use to teach at all. They would not be interested even to attend our sessions. So how do we enforce and at the same time you can say reinforce the policies and the ways in which you can say we have been failing since the ages miserably, and still we did not make any sort of rectifications or corrections. So let us try to adapt the new ways to get results that would make more sense to our students. In this session, as we move ahead, we will be learning, apart from understanding personalized learning, what are the different ways we can do it, and what are the different tools available to us in the form of personalized learning to make our learning more effective, more enhancing, and more adaptive for them, more interesting. So let us then we can do what can we do? We can set up our own game, and that doesn't mean by any chance that we need to create and launch a game in the next fortnight. We can try it. We can definitely go for it. And what I mean to say over here is that we need to gamify the process of learning. And Dr. Siam has been continuously focusing on that by making the process engaging. Because we all love to play. We all love to play games. We all love to participate. And using this interaction, and that does not mean that that the technology is the only solution for it. There are millions of, you can say, resources that are available. We can read, we can go through, we can take the help of the internet, where our brave educators, they have already created for us. So what happens? It is not very hard as we think. It may seem to us as a very daunting task, but it's not like that. It's not about confronting with a system that has been established over a year. It is just that let us assume, let us adapt to the way we go on to this path. We are trying to tread a new path. So when we walk, we can walk like humans. We do from as we have been doing it for thousands of years. You can say we can drive. We can choose from cars since the cars which were made since the early, you can say, 20th century, and we can also now choose from our self-driven cars if you would like to drive, if you would like to have a drive in a car. You can fly commercial airline or private jet, or we can have a teleport to ourselves. So it is up to us. It is undoubtedly up to us which technique we would like to adopt. Same is the case, you can say, whether we are parenting also and whether we have our teaching. We are involved in the process of parenting or we are involved in the process of teaching as educators. You can choose, or the educators can choose the way we would like to do it to get or to reach the end results. So the goal is the same, whether it's parenting or whether it is teaching. Get the best education to our students that will serve their future. We can choose it, do it our own way, you can say, so that what we want, that there should be some learning to happen, or we would definitely try to match, you can say, the way they would like to learn. Then only in today's era you can say that learning will happen. Otherwise, our students are not so very interested in learning. If you see the role of a parent, because all of us, majority of us who are in this online session, online short-term training session, are parents. And of course, we are in the profession of education as educators. It's not that simply you have to narrate and present the lessons. Gone are those days. We are not interested because we all of us lack the skill of listening. So it is ask and it is the support the process, you can say, the learning, which is led by the student at the student's level of understanding and guiding them to the process of learning. So how do we make our learning process much more interesting through the concept which is known as personalized learning. If you want to learn, see from where did this originate from actually. A lot of research has been done, you can say, into personalized learning, and it first emerged actually in the year 1984. Yes, when Benjamin when Benjamin Bloom challenged the academic community. He challenged the academic community. He was an educational psychologist to replicate the scale, the effectiveness of one-to-one or small group tutoring. He challenged this. And being an educational psychologist, he found that students who receive personalized instruction, they outperformed 98% of those who did not receive personalized learning. It's a huge, it's an enormous percentage that we are doing. Seeing it. The research actually opened our eyes. So the introduction, you can say, of one-to-one initiatives, which can be through online classrooms, blended learning models, and the rise of technology, you can say, in classrooms, that has allowed the students to have more and more access to relevant information than our generation. We did not, if we had to dig out any information, if we had to explore, we had to go through encyclopedias, science journals, management journals, all sorts of. But today, with the click of a mouse for them, the entire world is coming in front of them in their desktop. So personalized learning basically thrives in the technology-rich.
Arpita
And
ma'am,
when we see, yes,
मैम आपकी वॉइस इज ब्रेकिंग अ लॉट. आप कुछ ट्राई कर सकते हैं दूसरा?
I am sitting where my Wi-Fi is actually. I'm not even moving from the place.
Okay.
Also.
Because your voice is breaking too much, ma'am, and your slide is also not changing.
No, I have just come to Bloom's taxonomy now. How it
Okay,
is.
okay, ma'am. Okay, then we will continue without disturbing, ma'am, because your voice is breaking too much.
Yeah, let me. I'm not changing my position at all, Dr. Nikhat. I'm not at all changing, so that there is no disturbance at all. Okay, and let me try. Fine. And that's the reason I've kept my video off. I know it will be difficult also. Once if the video, then nothing will.
Now, ma'am, your voice is now clear, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
I am almost into my laptop. Okay, fine.
Now it is okay. Now it is okay.
Either the laptop will eat me out or I'll eat the laptop. Anyway, no problem. A different kind of lunch I'll have today. Okay, so what happens in this where there is what you can say, when will this personalized learning becomes more enhancing or more people thrive at which point? When we will find a technology rich environment. But this is not the ultimate, you can say. You can say it is insufficient on its own to revolutionize a student's classroom experience. So technology has to be embedded or imbibed in the classroom environment. So after 25 years of Bloom's research, of Benjamin Bloom's research, the higher education community is slowly starting to move towards personalized learning. Three terms I will be using it: tailored services, customization, and personalization. We are in the age of Amazon and Spotify. These buzzwords, customization, you can see, personalization, what tailored services. We are all looking for only these three things. Are par for the course, for the course also. And they are setting, especially the consumer expectations, at a very, very high level. So what is this personalization, how it has initiated? It has initiated in most of the sectors, with customers affording particular value, you can see, to the unique kind of experiences and the one of a kind of a products they have configured just for them. They're all looking for personalized services or customized services. Then what about education? Is this field, do you think, should be left behind? Students are demanding personalization as today become, as is fast becoming, or you can say, the baseline expectation, especially during this digital revolution, education revolution. Why should I miss the word education? So it has become the buzzword or the baseline expectation in digital education revolution. And especially, of course, it is in the primary and in secondary level. That is, I mean to say, at the school level. But among the higher education's main target audience, the undergraduates, the graduates, okay, undergraduates, graduates, and higher young adults. I'm referring to young adults. So what has happened? Universities and colleges are under constant pressure to adapt to both the realities of the society. And they feel that the future workplace, the graduates, can only suit if they receive personalized education. If they have, if as universities, and if we are teaching in many colleges, and if we are giving them, you can say, generalized curriculum and teaching approaches, which is relevant to everyone, but you'll see no one failed to meet the student academic needs. Or you can say it will not fuel the passion for learning. The essence which was prevalent, that one size fits all approach, you can say, to education, today is no longer accepted. That was our time. That one size fits all approach. That was the era of our time. But today, the students are used to personalize customer service from companies because they have similar kind of apps downloaded in their mobile, such as Amazon and Spotify. So while personalization, you can say, it has seen exciting changes in education, but being a part of the higher education industry, we are still struggling to adapt it. So let us ask a question, that could personalized learning offer a solution to some of these problems? Some of these problems, how? By focusing on the demands and the needs of individual students and working professionals. Let us try to ask this sort of questions. So in order to answer these questions, we need to understand or identify what are the features of personalized learning. We are saying that it is fast becoming a buzzword, or it has become the baseline. But what exactly it is, and has learning, or has it really improved learning? We say that it is like prioritizing the needs of the individual students, especially when we are developing the curriculum at the beginning of the academic year and the learning materials. When we are developing this, see, we all know not all students are similar. Some are slow learners, some are average learners, and some are advanced learners. The students, they work at their own pace, often you can say independently of the teacher. And that's the reason we always complain among ourselves, within our colleagues, that Mr. X student did not come prepared, Y came very well prepared. Okay, him is least more or less, he's prepared also, he's not prepared, is a confused kid, we say it like that. Because we have to first differentiate. The first day in the class, we'll try to identify, or first 1 week, you can identify, spend your time, your valuable time in identifying who are the slow learners, who are the average learners, and who are the advanced learners. Then the process of learning or teaching learning process becomes very interesting and very interactive. Technology, of course, as educators, you can definitely use it to allow the students to access the online materials. Because today, if you see, they don't like to read. All of us might have noticed. You all also might have noticed. Why do you see students entering the library? Even though we might have tell them the textbooks or the reference books from where they can gain knowledge. But how many of our students actually visit the library? The footfall in the library is very less, you can see. Technology may be used because if we can bring in that concept, that buzzword known as technology, and allow our students to access the online materials, work through the topics, find the additional resources, and of course, to assess and monitor their progress, then they will also be very keen to learn through this, you can say, through this media also. Sorry, students are encouraged to be active learners. And teachers are encouraged. Why do we feel encouraged? Because we think we are able to engage the students one-to-one or in small groups. But in groups, what I have noticed, I don't know whether some of you will agree, I think. In a group of 5, it is either the one or the 2 persons who are working. Rest all 3 members are the sleeping cells in the group. They don't participate. They just only come and stand on the day of the presentation. They're even unaware of the fact what is maybe at times the topic of the group presentation also. It might happen also. You might have also experienced, my friends and colleagues might also agree to that. So what has happened, this effective personalized learning system, if we can include these features which are mentioned, that teaching should be in line with established college and career ready standards. What does this mean? That means we are trying to develop the social and emotional skills students. We are touching upon their social and emotional skills which are needed to be successful in college and in career. Because once they are into the higher education level, that is at the undergraduate or at the postgraduate level, we are trying to actually prepare them for their professional world. So we should try, as educators, we should try to provide them inputs which will help them in bringing out a balance in their social and emotional skills also. So we are harping and sharpening their skill sets. Students are encouraged to customize their learning experience. So why? Why should personalized learning should encourage the student, will help us to customize their learning experience so that it can reflect on their interest areas. So that as educators, we can help the students to reflect on their interest areas. And when we touch upon their interest area, the participation is more than 100%. We are all struggling. It is not that some of us we all are struggling, we are learning actually, and we are evolving over a period of time. Our learning improves actually over a period of time. We cannot say any time that we are excellent teachers.
Learning is at the pace of each individual student. Agree. And that's the reason today higher education is focusing on personalized learning. But this means that students can move ahead, you can say, when they are ready. Or they may also take a slower pace because we are trying to understand in which category do they fall. Slow, average, and advanced. Until they fully, you can say, grasp the material or the concept. Then only once they can only move ahead, then they are thorough with the concept and they can apply this theoretical concept in the real life situation. Teachers have access to data from student assessments and feedback in real time. We do have access so that what can happen? It will help. They can adapt materials and intervene to help the students. This data which we are gathering from their assessments as educators, it will help them and intervene to help the students to become a better learner. We can identify the pain points of the student. Why is it that Miss X or Mr. X is struggling to understand a concept? Where are we going wrong? Or where is it that the student is not able to understand? So access to understandable, transferable learning objectives and assessments so that the students understand expectations in advance. What are we expecting as educators from the students to make them understand in advance through either so that we are in a one-to-one contact with them. Not everything works for all. Somebody might learn by doing, somebody might be very good by listening, somebody might do it by simulation, somebody might be very good through writing. So we need to identify what actually works for one may not work for everybody. So what are the benefits? Having understood the features of personalized learning, what are the benefits? Why should we inculcate the concept of personalized learning in our classroom teaching, you can say? Or why should we adopt to personal self-paced learning? The first point it says. Now, we know that students can decide on the pace on which they want to learn. In the conventional classroom, what happens? In a conventional learning classroom, unlike the conventional classroom, we are only, it's only a monologue which happens. But in a personalized learning, we allow the students to manage this. It is time consuming. We need to have a lot of patience because there will be, it's like maintaining a Gantt chart. The speed at which they will master, it will be different for different students and at which they master a subject. So we can use self-assessment tools periodically to test their knowledge. For some people, we can conduct a written test. Some are very good. Not all of us are very good in written communication. Some will be very good in Viva. Okay, so we will take test. We will have self-assessment tools periodically to test their knowledge. They can so that they can you can say they fully grasp the material before he actually learns. And if you have executed program in your university, if you see this personalized learning actually works good for the working professionals also. If you have an EMBA or some sort of an executive program, even for an MTech program also, the flexibility gives them before the working professional periods in their own time. You give them a timeline to submit and adjust the timetables according to the other demands, such as the work projects, travel, and family commitments. Then all the more they become very, very happy and content. Your working professionals, if they have registered for an executive MBA program, or you can say for an MTech program also. So just as you can say, some people choose to bridge, or you can say watch a TV series as soon as it is released. Some of them are very enthusiastic. As soon as a TV series is launched, they would like to watch it. But others, what they do, they take out the episodes over days or weeks, and similar is the case with the learners also. They have different preferred speeds at which they would like to absorb that information into them. So self-pacing means that students who will learn definitely don't become bored who learn at a faster pace, don't become bored while waiting for other classmates to catch up. So we have to make the intelligent or the advanced learners, and we have to actually keep them occupied so that they are not bored while they are waiting for their slow or the average learners to catch up. They can simply move on to the next lesson slowly. And those who take the longer time to learn, they should not feel that they are left behind. And they should not feel also demotivated. Like we should encourage them, the going is good, and keep moving at the same pace, giving them a little push from behind. The next is the insights via technology. There are softwares. There are softwares like Realize It. That's a software tool, personalized learning program software. There is K Newton, that is another software tool application, you can say, a software program application, personalized learning program software, which allows the teachers to monitor their students' actual progress. And targeted, you can say, the progress in real time has been given. And with the help of these softwares, the educators or the teachers can monitor the students, how they are progressing, how their actual progress is happening. So what will happen? This can help the teachers, you can say, to identify more easily and help the students who are struggling with the material. So you need not find out, because that may become manually if you are trying to do it. That might become at times very time consuming. Okay, so we can take the support of these softwares, the personalized learning softwares, and it will give us meaningful one-to-one attention to our students if they need it. So in addition, you can say the students may feel very comfortable, you can say, approaching the teaching staff with the feedback through the email or the software that has provided, rather than when they feel very neglected. And if you have noticed also, some of the students are very reluctant actually to come up with their problem and speak to the teacher. So what will happen when we use this sort of a technology or a software? This would allow more introverted students. Actually, we should help the introverted students or those struggling to raise issues at an earlier stage. Because if they're able to identify their problem at a very early stage, then we are actually helping them to throw away their crushes and walk on their own, and make them try to open up, so that they're able to communicate, get away with that fear factor. Educators, we need to focus on that. Next is, in what way personalized learning will help us cater to various learning styles. So when we're talking, when we are discussing about this, many students, if you have seen, prefer to learn in small groups so that they can hide themselves. With the chance to contribute, but some of them want to hide, so they want to be in a group activity, they will always say, because they know they will become the sleeping cells. But many students, if you see, they want to prefer also to learn in small groups because they want to participate in a debate kind of an activity, have discussions on the topics. But what has happened? This traditional delivery of material in large lecture hall, we fail to get the attention, or fail to retain the attention of the students. We as educators also, we are not able to focus and have an eye-to-eye contact with each of the, you can say, 60 or 70 students that they are present in the class. So for verbal students, reading might remain the most attractive option. Others who learn orally might prefer to listen to the material also. So we have to identify. That's why we say today that the concept of tutorial is becoming more and more successful. And while most educators, they aim to deliver, if you have seen, courses in a way which will cater to all these types. But we are not serving, or we are not focusing on the learning aspect. It is difficult also, the amount of youth syllabus that we are given to teach. At times, whether we should finish the syllabus or whether we should focus on personalized learning, that becomes a challenge, and we have to, in order to go for our performance, I think we tend to focus on the second one. So personalized learning, you can see that will allow the student to pick and choose which delivery methods are most accessible, and it will be memorable for to them. And that's the reason, since we have all crossed our school education, we tend to remember only those teachers who have created a difference in their learning style in their classroom during our school days. We don't remember each and every student of our school days. Only those teachers can make an impression who have created an everlasting impact in our minds. Similar actually happens in this person. Why? Because at that time we never knew that this is only what is known as personalized, but they did that. They actually performed it, and they have demonstrated in front of us. The next one, the fourth benefit of personalized learning happens to be increased student engagement. Traditionally, if you see, the teacher was the classroom authority who decided on what students would learn, how, and when. We consider ourselves as the boss. With this personalized learning, what is happening? Students are encouraged to have greater engagement with the subject. We may give them a case study, we may give them a reference material, we may share a YouTube link with them, or we may share the study material maybe at the beginning of the semester and tell them how, and when we share the session plan with them, so they know which topic will be taught in which class, so they come prepared. These are the facilities that we give to the students. So teachers can help them to identify how they learn best, and to, you can say, to set their own goals and targets for progression. This is only possible when we are actually sharing the schedules with them well ahead of time. And at what time? Then, because we have shared the schedules well ahead of time, students can create their own schedules which meet their needs, whether they are whether they are the night owls, you can say, or early birds. They can study at the time that best suits them. Sleeping in will no longer mean missing out on lectures. Our parents have been saying that you are sleeping, so you'll become nothing in your life. But today, because we share, if we are able to share these schedules well in advance, our syllabus well in advance, the learning objective, the learning outcome of our course well in advance, along with the program objective, then what will happen? The student will also create that sort of a schedule, and they will meet their needs. And wherever they are falling a little short, they will come and approach us that, can you please tell us or explain us? And how does this work for the working professionals? Because these days, as universities, we do have courses or programs for our working executives also. So studying as a form of continued professional development course material that can be tailored, or you can say, to more accurately, you can say, to reflect on the knowledge they would require to go ahead in their professional life. So a personalized pathway to a professional qualification means that the students and employers can have inputs in such a way to a course so that there is relevance. And we are trying to reduce the gap. Reduce which gap? The industry academia gap. And that is why in every Board of Studies meeting also, we do bring in the industry experts. Next is the last benefit is widely accessible material. Now, what we are trying to say that no doubt this personalized learning caters for students with diverse needs and background. It is a challenging, it's a big challenge actually. The self-pacing allows the non-traditional students, with more demands on their time, you can say, to work on the non-traditional. The smartphones, if you have seen, and Wi-Fi mean that they can access. If a student thinks that they have got smartphones and Wi-Fi, they think that they can access learning materials from home, on breaks, at work, or while even they are on a public transport. And this way, you can make use, you can exploit this opportunity as educators. And students with disabilities can use adaptive technology. We have been focusing on the regular students. We have been focusing till now about the working professionals, sort of EMB or MTech programs also that we are talking about. But what about the students who are differently able or with disabilities? Unfortunately, they can use adaptive technology to get the most of the study materials and also to communicate effectively with the teachers and the classmates so that they also don't feel behind. They also don't feel that they are left behind. So, as a customer service has become, if you visit a mall, you visit an automobile, this one workshop across every sector. Okay, starting from FMCG to your telecom service provider to hospital to hotels. Okay, across every sector, customer service has become more and more personalized, and it is inevitable today. Then why will education will not follow the same suit? Students have started expecting, will expect, and have started expecting also the demand from their education, and that will prefer their learning interest and continued relevance to the professions, to the profession that they would like to pursue. Why will this industry should consider that they should be left behind? Yes, certainly as educators, when we are beginning, when we are putting our first baby step forward to go ahead with this concept of personalized learning, we will certainly feel uncomfortable. We will with a change because human beings do not like to accept change and reluctant also to move from the traditional education model to a more, you can say, bespoke student test model. But This misgivings, you can say, we can overcome if higher student engagement and graduation rates are we are able to follow it. We will certainly be also accepting higher sense of responsibility, but not only we will become good educators, but we will bring about a meaningful change in the life of a student. I was listening to the entire session of Dr. Siham and few of the faculty members when they were discussing that they have incorporated flipped classroom and the challenges that they are facing. Certainly, we will face. In case of personalized learning, also we will definitely face it. But let's give it a try. Create flexible, personalized education pathways that will open up higher education to move to more students, to make education an appealing prospect. Then we need not worry about the numbers in the admission also. If we are bringing out something unique in our institution. So working professionals will also, which was previously as to higher education by busy work and family schedules, they will also enroll themselves because of they can make higher education more and more attainable. See, not everybody is so very lucky actually to complete their entire formal education and join their professional life. Some of us are very, because of the pressure of family that we have, economic pressure, that we jump to our professional life. So this personalized learning can help those sort of working professionals also. Now moving on to the next slide, let us try to understand what are the different ways we can personalize learning to our students. There are 10 different ways that has been mentioned on this slide. It's a very loaded phrase, personalized learning. But try to break these two words, personalized learning. If you break down the two words, you try to make it and make it simpler, and you better try to understand it as personal way to learn. You break this word, personalized learning, into a way, into a phrase, personal way to learn. So personalized learning is something which is student centered. Of course, it is an educational approach where the learner is actually not the teacher, not the educator, not the facilitator, drives their own learning. We are the facilitators, you can say, but we will not work as a teacher anymore in case of personalized learning. So what for educators who would want to focus on the learners, there are 10 ways you can say where we can go help the students to go for personalized learning. Set personal learning plans. The first one. Set personal learning plans. Now, this is what I'll just increase it if it is not so visible for you. So when we are saying set personal learning plans, students must set their personal plans and goals that are aligned with their interests.
Arpita ma'am,
All
ma'am, your voice is
again breaking.
breaking. I mean, it is breaking only.
Okay. But I'm available in one piece. Why is that my voice?
But when you speak to me, then the voice is okay. The moment you start speaking for the presentation, that time there is a problem.
No way I'm changing, ma'am, my position. I'm very unfortunate to do that. Very unfortunate. You not even move a single inch
Hello.
also. First,
Okay.
shall I continue once again?
Yes, ma'am, you can continue because it's not at all audible properly.
Why is it happening like that?
Now, when you are speaking with me, now voice is very clear. But the moment you start for the presentation, then the voice is breaking too much.
unable to understand. I'm not even moving. Same place, same posture, rather.
Have you changed the slide, or slide is one only, ma'am?
No, I have to explain these 10 ways now. I have to explain these
Okay.
10 ways of personalized learning. These are the 10 ways of personalized learning that we have to understand. In what way we can go ahead with personalized learning? What the educator can do to imbibe personalized learning into classroom or with the students, not in the classroom, with the
I
students.
think they are missing. Can I see the participants for a item, ma'am? Arpita, ma'am, can we do something? We can continue after lunch.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Let me. Can I see the participants? I want. I need their opinion.
Okay, the slides are
Participants,
not moving.
it would be nice if you can give your opinion on this.
Hello, am I audible?
I think all the participants left.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
It will be
yeah,
better
just
because
just a minute, just a minute. Ma'am, Arpita, ma'am.
Hello.
Arpita, ma'am.
Hello.
Just a minute. Praveen, just a minute. Wait. Arpita, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you unshare this PPT?
Unshare. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now participants can put their cameras on and they can speak. Praveen, I think you were, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Very good afternoon. Actually, the presentation slides are very good, but because of the audio, I think there is a problem to understand what exactly ma'am is explaining. Though I found it like whatever may be the presentation which has been given, I can understand because this may be related to the Bloom's taxonomy, how we can relate to this all. But the thing is like the audio is breaking, and that's what we could not hear you properly.
Parveen, thank you so much. Actually, for that only, I thought ki, shall we break for some time? Arpita ma'am will get some time to fix her problem, and then we will start again. The third session we can postpone a little bit. Is it okay with all of you?
Yes, ma'am. No issues, ma'am.
Sure, madam.
Participants, please give your opinion.
Yes, ma'am. We can continue after lunch because again and again the disruption
Yes,
will
madam.
be there. So
Yes, ma'am.
better to be, continue after lunch.
Okay, Arpita ma'am, is it okay for you that we can start at 2 o'clock?
At what time? 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, I will inform Afzal ma'am because 2 to 4 it is Afzal's lecture. I think yours is 1 hour or 1.5 hours is remaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of 4, we will end the session today at 5 o'clock. Will that be okay, Arpita ma'am, for you?
No problem. No problem. No problem.
Okay, participants, I hope all are okay with this.
Yes, ma'am. It's okay.
Oh.
Okay. Thank
Yes,
you so
madam.
much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. We will do one thing. We will break for the lunch and we will meet again at 2 o'clock sharp.
Right.
But please do come online sharp because we are already running late.
Yeah. Definitely. We will be. We will be.
Okay. Thank you, participants. We will try to cover this up.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will meet again at 2 o'clock.
Fine. No problem.
Okay.
With that.
Thank you, ma'am. I will. You can leave the session, ma'am.
I'll just see what best can be done.
Yeah, I think, ma'am, you change your place, then you will be able to fix it up.
We will do it now. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Thank you.